This week on Got Clutter, Get Organized, a conversation, I'm going to be sharing with you why I feel empowered when I plan. Stay tuned. Right now. Hello and welcome to Got Clutter, Get Organized, the conversation. This week, I'm going to be sharing with you why I feel so empowered when I plan. I just love planning, which is why I have a physical planner. So, I want to just kind of share with you why planning the night before it kind of simplifies things for me, but also allows me not to have chaotic mornings. Also, I feel more in control of my day. Not that necessarily that I stick to it, but at least it allows me, kind of gives me a blueprint of what I should be doing. And then, of course, less stress, clearer mornings, better focus. So let's jump into it. So, I love planning because depending on what I'm doing, if I'm errands, traveling, even sometimes just kind of hanging out with friends, family, or even when I'm working from home, it really helps me be, specifically when I'm on the fun side of things, it allows me to enjoy the moments a lot more because I've already taken care of the little details behind the scenes so I can be present in work. It really helps me be strategic and not waste my time and my energy, and also cross things off of my list a lot easier. But it is a habit for me, allows me to have calmness in my life. I'm not stressed, I'm not overwhelmed, I'm not anxious. So that's first of all the why the I personally do it. But how do I prepare? You're probably saying, Janet, how do you prepare? So, first of all, sometimes I have my planner and I write lists, or either sometimes I just have a notepad and I just, a lot of times, my list and what I need to do comes from my brain dump. So, I'll just kind of write everything down, then I'll categorize things, and then I'll list things. Once I do that, the next thing I do is I take that list and then I incorporate them into my schedule. My planner, seeing when I can do things, um, what time I can allocate to them. I also think about my energy level because sometimes I want to do things that will take a lot of mental energy. So I'll do them in the morning. A lot of times, things where I just have to do some running around, I may do those in the afternoon. But also, it's it makes it easy for me not to forget. For example, I've got a bag of donations that need to go out. Well, that bag is right by the door. Everything that needs to go in is by the door. I already know what day I'm going to go because on that particular day, I will walk right past, because I'll do my walk. I will walk right past the place where I do my donations. Or sometimes I recycle my cartridges. So I make sure that they're, of course, the night before by my tote. And therefore, when I go past that Staples, that location, I can just drop them off. So that's how I'm not only strategic in what I cross off my list, but I'm also strategic in how I actually do the activity to get the items crossed on my list. And of course, the night before, when I'm seeing a client, I make sure that I check, make sure I have my notebook, everything that I need. So that's part of the planning part of it. And then, of course, if I'm speaking, making sure my laptop, I've got the cord and anything else that I need as well. Then there's the personal stuff. So I'm not fatigued about that. You're trying to figure out the event, the outfit, the occasion, the outfit. And so, therefore, just doing that the night before causes me a lot less stress. Thinking, okay, where am I going? What are we going to do? As is it going to be a hike? Is it just, sometimes I'll meet somebody for either coffee or lunch right in my community. So if I'm doing that, and depending on the time of day and the weather, that kind of contributes to what I'm going to wear. So think about all of those things because then you get it done the night before. You don't have to stress about it the day of. So think about that. And also what kind of bag you're going to wear. Because ladies, I understand sometimes you're trying to figure out what kind of bag. But also, And all of that, specifically when I'm going to see clients, I always make sure I have my water, I've got my stack snacks, because I don't carry those big water bottles. I usually carry like a small um, disposable water bottle because it just fits right in my bag. So that way I can just grab and go, and I don't have to worry about, do I have enough free hands? That's just the way I do things as well. So thinking about that as well. And then, of course, you're just doing that allows you, when you do it the night before and that planning, it allows you to have mental energy in the morning. You walk out the door, you're not stressed. So think about that as well. And then, of course, I just want to share something with you from Brian Tracy. And this is from Eat the Frog. He shares that 10 to 12 minutes of planning can save an hour of wasted time. 10 to 12 minutes of planning can save an hour of wasted time. Just think about that. Think about how many times you really want that hour back. And you just have to really figure out what works for you. Sometimes I know people, a lot of say you travel, so you already know what it's like. You get that suitcase out, you start thinking about all the activities, you start laying stuff out, and it's kind of just incorporating that into your everyday. So thinking about that. But planning the night before allows you to just have mental rest in your brain. You're not lying in bed thinking about, okay, what do I need to do tomorrow? Did I do this? Did I pack this? You're not thinking about that. And you wake up clearer and calmer. I'm going to repeat that. You wake up clearer and calmer. So just give yourself permission because in a new season to do something new. So maybe start just doing things the night before, laying your clothes out, maybe thinking of the three priorities you need to do, maybe packing that bag, putting those shoes by the door, know where your keys are, doing things. And it's not about just being that perfectionism, it's just being consistent in what you are doing. So again, just do one thing. Just one thing tonight. It could be, you know what, I'm just going to put my keys here because I seem to always look for my keys. Or I'm going to just put the bag that I am going to use. Or you know what, I already know what I want to wear. So I'm just going to, just one thing. And I would love for you to let me know below. And then, of course, ask yourself, what can I do tonight to make tomorrow easier? When you start asking yourself that, you'll start thinking of all kinds of things. So, and I would love for you to really make that a part of your evening routine. What can I do tonight to make tomorrow easier? So, my quote for you is planning the night before is a gift you give your future self. Planning the night before is a gift you give your future self. So, remember that. So, I want to just kind of go over just a few things specifically. The one thing is 10 to 15, 10 to 12 minutes, because I'm always saying 15, 10 to 12 minutes of planning can save hours of wasted time. 10 to 12 minutes. And also, planning the night before allows your brain to rest. So remember that. Think of one thing you can do and ask yourself, what can I do to make tomorrow easier? So I want you to answer that question below. Comment below. What's one thing I can do to make tomorrow easier? One thing. Is it putting my shoes by the door? Is it putting my keys somewhere? Is it just laying out my clothes the night before? I would love for you to share it with me. So for those of you who are joining this video portion, thank you so much for joining me. And make sure you subscribe if you don't already do so. And for those of you who are listening to the audio version, stay tuned for more tips, resources, and strategies on how you can get rid of your clutter and get organized. All right. So my question to you is, what can you do tonight to make tomorrow easier? I'm going to be looking at those comments. I want to know. Because again, it doesn't have to be anything elaborate. It could be something very simple. So I want you to share in the comments below. So make sure you're following me on social media. Make sure you're following me on this platform. Of course, making sure you check out the links to my ebooks, to my services. So until next time, I want you to have a clutter free day. But most of all, I want you to have an organized week. Thank you so much for joining me.